It's an exciting time for Fever fans with the team signing Kelsey Mitchell and then the Indiana Fever Sports Performance Center, a huge upgrade and a great game changer with free agents. If you're thinking about coming to Indiana, having that Indiana Fever Sports Performance Center, that's a big deal. Let's watch some video on the Sports Performance Center.
As the CEO of Pacer Sports Entertainment, I couldn't be more excited for both our men's and our women's teams to have their own standalone practice facilities. I think it's expanding our campus in a great way. It's proves that they can on the court, and I think it's absolutely the right time to do it.
Well, first of all, our goals for this new training center is really to provide a first-in-class training center that is designed exclusively for women athletes. And I think that's important to note because it's not just a gym, it's a holistic approach to how women athletes train, recover, rehab.
This is going to be the best in class when it comes to a women's professional training facility. And not just the day that it opens, we're gonna set this up and think about this as the best in class for many years to come.
From all of the weight and conditioning equipment, obviously we'll have 2 full-size courts. It'll be available 24/7 for them to come and utilize it, but also just the best in recovery, the best in mental health, places for them to be able to also record content, podcasts, and other things that they may have to go off-site and waste time doing things like that. So they can really maximize their time spent focusing on their performance and not on other things.
This franchise has always been about players, it's always been about basketball, and it's about anything we can do to help the player become the best they can be. This is really a huge example and an opportunity to show the rest of the league and the world and that's involved in women's sports what it takes to be a high-level athlete.
It's an unbelievable day for the Indiana Fever, another step for our franchise, again, to make this the best franchise in the world.
As we look toward Indianapolis becoming the epicenter of women's sports, having professional women's sports teams and having dedicated training facilities for them is really a key piece of putting that together.
Now let's talk about some of the free agent moves that the Indiana Fever has made. Whoa, they've made some great choices. Personally, I think we may have a chance to win a championship, WNBA championship. Let's start with Sophie Cunningham. Cunningham, she recently signed with the Indiana Fever as an unrestricted free agent. Cunningham, 6'1" shooting guard, known for her shot shooting capabilities. She averaged 37.8% from a three-point range over her career. She brings a defensive edge and physicality to the team, which should complement the Fever's young core. Let's watch some video on Sophie.
Rating for a multi-dimensional wing, capable of knocking down the 3 ball.
Cunningham is starting to cook. Cunningham 3 is good. Cunningham from the corner.
Locking down defenders.
Several deflections, and this time she gets the steal and the M1 opportunity.
And injecting passion and emotion into the game and into her team. On offense, Cunningham is a floor spacer and a deep shot maker. Each of her last 3 seasons, she's finished top 20 in the WNBA in threes made per minute on the floor among qualified players. And she will join a backcourt that features 2 of the top 5 three-point shot makers from a year ago, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. Over Cunningham's last 4 seasons, she shot an impressive 38% from the three-point line. And among players to hit at least 200 threes over that time, only 4 players in the entire league have shot it better from distance. One of those being Kelsey Mitchell. And Cunningham's ability to space the floor should give the Fever All-Star backcourt even more room to create on the drive than they had a year ago. But let's look at her defense, where in Phoenix, her versatility was on full display. Capable of guarding 1 through 4 in the lineup, she would defend star point guards one game, then be a small ball 4 the next night. As the Fever look to improve defensively from a season ago, her style fits Stephanie White perfectly. Aggressive.
Then we also picked up DeWanna Bonner. She recently signed as an unrestricted free agent also. Bonner, 6-time WNBA All-Star, 2-time WNBA champion, bringing a wealth of experience to the Fever. Let's watch some clips of DeWanna Bonner.
Have signed one of the all-time greats who brings major big game experience to Indiana along with her. Bonner is a 2-time WNBA champion and quite literally the most experienced postseason player ever. Her 87 playoff games are more than any player in WNBA history. Bonner has also scored the second most playoff points of all time and is third all-time in playoff rebounding, currently 5 shy of Tamika Catchings for second. Bonner is the 4th all-time leading scorer in WNBA history, and in her first game with the Fever, will likely move into 3rd all-time. She's currently just 6 points behind Tina Thompson for 3rd on the all-time scoring charts. And speaking of Tina Thompson, she'll likely pass her on the all-time rebounding leaderboards in her first game with the Fever too. Bonner is 9th all-time in rebounding, just 3 shy of 8th place Thompson. But Bonner is still playing at a very high level. She is a 6-time All-Star, making the All-Star team in each of her last 2 seasons, and has gotten MVP votes in 6 different seasons, including last year. Her length makes her a major weapon on both ends of the floor, allowing her to get shots off regardless of how tight the defense is, and finish in tight quarters inside. Her game is multi-dimensional. She's knocked down more than 600 threes in her career, but she's also very effective as a driver, a slasher, and a passer. And that wingspan wreaks all sorts of havoc on the defensive end, where the former All-WNBA defender uses that frame to get into passing lanes, hound ball handlers, racking up steals and blocks left and right. Bonner is 12th all-time in league history in steals and 24th all-time in blocks, and she'll share the front court with new teammate Natasha Howard, who's 25th all-time in league history in block shots.
Yes, Natasha Howard. Yes, she's going to be a big pickup, maybe. Probably the biggest free agent pickup that the Fever did make. I think that was great. Great pickup. Let's watch some clips of Natasha Howard.
Agency, but wait, I thought no one wanted to play in Indiana. Top free agents, and you guys, this changes everything. The Courtside Club, the Indiana Fever just pulled one of the biggest moves yet in free agency. It was just announced this morning that the 3-time WNBA champion Natasha Howard will sign with the Indiana Fever as a free agent. The former Defensive Player of the Year and 2-time All-Star returns to the franchise that drafted her, bolstering the Fever's front court and bringing veteran experience. Now, we talked about it a little bit yesterday about how the Indiana Fever have been pretty quiet throughout free agency, except for bringing back the one and only Kelsey Mitchell that a lot of us were expecting and hoping for. But other than that, they hadn't really made that many big moves. There hadn't really been rumors or reports about what the Indiana Fever were doing, but obviously they were working hard behind the scenes because they picked up one of the WNBA's top free agents. Now, before we go on to talk about Natasha Howard and how this changes up the league a little bit, I do want to show you guys a quick highlight reel of her. Ken Swift posted this on Twitter. So let's check out Natasha's skill set and what she will be bringing to the Fever. So as you guys can see here, she takes it to the basket with a nice little shimmy shake, turnaround jumper. Skip pass to the corner and hits the three. Now, she's not a three-point shooter necessarily, but she can hit open shots. And then as you can see here, she is running the court, which is something that the Indiana Fever have said that they wanted to, and it was a nice tip back there. So as you can see from just these few plays, it seems like she will fit in with the Indiana Fever offense. So one thing that the Fever want to do is they want to run. They want to make the game faster, and that is something that they are going to need with whatever post player they pick up or with the post.
Now, Howard is known for her defensive prowess, winning the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year award and being a two-time All-Star. She brings a wealth of experience and championship mentality to the Fever, which should be invaluable for the team's young core. In the 2024 season with the Dallas Wings, she averaged 17.6 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 2.9 assists per game. Her return to the Fever is expected to bolster their front court and provide veteran leadership. And I think it's great to see her back with the Fever. Do you think her experience will make a big difference for the team? And what do you think about the acquisitions that the Indiana Fever have made? And are the Fever a top team to win the WNBA championship? Thanks for joining us. God bless. Have a great day. Thank you.